So, America and climate change's last hope, and my personal pretend grandpa, Bernie Sanders, has raised $25 million in the month of January alone. This is huge, guys. We raised $34 million in the last quarter of 2019, which was like 3 months of fundraising. 34 million. We got 2/3 of that in 1 month of January. So our movement is growing. We added over 200,000 new donors to our movement. Over 640,000 people donated in January alone. It was like over 1 million contributions just in 1 month. So all of this collective energy, this is what's going to propel us to victory. Iowa is too close to call. It's just a 1,000 vote difference between Pete and Bernie, and it's like 97% reported at this point. And New Hampshire's just a few days away. And then you're going to have Super Tuesday on March 3rd. And we're coming in this strong. Our movement is growing by hundreds of thousands of people every single month. And they're all collectively donating and putting in a little bit of their time, canvassing and door knocking, or bannering on bridges, or chalking on sidewalks to just get the message out about Bernie. So the working class people are waking up. The millennials are waking up. And this is how we're going to win and affect real change in this country that will actually improve the lives of the working class people, that will improve the lives of Black and brown people, of indigenous people, of all minorities that don't have that same level playing field as the ones of the last 40 or 50 years. But in terms of winning, this matters because we're going to be able to put obviously more staff on the ground, way more ad buys, which a lot of Americans, they don't watch online news like you and I. They are stuck on the couch watching CNN and MSNBC, and that's just the media they consume and they believe it. So if we get our message out there any way possible, like for instance, raising $25 million in 1 month, the mainstream media is going to cover stuff like that. And if they cover it, we're going to get attention, and then people are going to put their eyes on our campaign and our message, and they're going to hear that not me, us message, that equity and human dignity and compassion, and they're going to be like, oh yeah. When people hear Bernie's message and they tie it to their own personal struggles, their lived experience, they are going to understand how big this movement is and why it really matters. It'll just click. That's how it works for everybody. You're never going to convince somebody of anything. You can talk about your ideas and express your beliefs and why you believe in what you believe, and they will hear it, but for them to come to it, it's just something that they have to connect from their own lived experience. So whenever Bernie's message gets out there, I think people who are living these experiences of being working class, of being poor, of not being able to afford rent or healthcare, they're going to connect and empathize with our movement and join us. So that's why we raised over $25 million in January alone. We are growing a movement. I mean, think about it. We have consolidated the largest coalition of support since Obama in 2008. We've united left-wing groups like the Justice Democrats, the Center for Popular Democracy, the Sunrise Movement, the Harvey Milk LGBTQ youth, the Democratic Socialists of America. Those are major left-wing groups, and we've united all of them under the Bernie Sanders movement. On top of that, we have united major unions. We have the United Electrical Radio Machine Workers, the National Nurses Union, the American Postal Worker Union, all uniting under Bernie Sanders. So we're building coalitions with all of these major organizations and these major unions who are going to put boots on the ground and help Bernie win. They're going to volunteer. They're going to donate. They're going to canvass. We united the left-wing organizations. We united the unions. And then on top of that, we woke up the millennials, guys. The young people overwhelmingly support Bernie Sanders. In this primary, it's like over 50%. He has over a 70% approval rating for millennials. Like, Bernie consolidates the youth vote. That's what Barack Obama did in 2008. So if we have the left-wing organizations all uniting and working for us on the ground, we have all of the unions working for us united on the ground, and we have all of the young people working for us united on the ground, we win this primary, and we definitely beat Donald Trump in a general election. You need left-wing grassroots energy to beat the Republicans. We only lose when turnout is depressed, when people are demoralized and don't feel like things are going to work for them. So if we have a movement leader like Bernie Sanders leading the way, we're going to win this. We're going to crush Donald Trump. If you are disaffected or alienated by the political process and feel like you live in a society that just doesn't work for you, now is the time to join the movement. If you are poor or working class and you work 8-hour days, 5 days a week, multiple jobs even, just to get by, now is the time to join the movement. If you think that rent is too expensive and you can't afford your health care and you can't send your kids to college and you're tired of the debt collectors, now is the time to join the movement. Now is the time. Remember, not me, us. Thanks for watching, guys.